crafters, and welcome back to my channel, Amy Makes That, here on YouTube, where I share all of the Cricut and crafting content. I recently just bought the Cricut Joy. I needed to get my hands on this little guy because it was on sale for $99, which was the best deal I've ever seen. So today I will be sharing 3 different Cricut Joy projects that you can make. As always, all of the products that I use in today's video will be linked in the video description. Those are affiliate links, which means I receive a small commission when you do purchase something from that link, but it is free of charge for you. Thank you for supporting my channel and being here. Now let's get into the tutorials. The first Cricut Joy project is this canvas sign that says crafting in progress. I thought this was a funny sign to hang up on my door outside my office so people know what I'm crafting. As always, I make a template. I did measure the canvas sign off camera, and the white part of the sign was 5.3 inches. So I'm going to choose the shapes button and select the square, change the color to white because I'm a visual girly, and adjust the size to 5.3. Next, we are adding our text. So the first line is crafting, the second line is in progress, ... and I forgot the S, but I'll change that in a bit. The font that I am using today is Eucalyptus Spearmint. Now this is a downloaded font that will be linked in the video description, so don't be alarmed if you don't have this font because it is something that I downloaded from another website and imported it into Cricut Design Space. And if you do need help with importing fonts, please check out this video that I'll link in the cards right here. The loading sign was pretty simple. I selected the shape button and chose the square, but then unlocked it so I can adjust the length of it. Then to make it an outline, I duplicated that same rectangle that I made and changed the color so I can see the thickness of it. You want to make sure that you do unlock it so you can make it even on all sides. This might take some time to adjust. You can make it thicker or thinner. Then I selected both of them and centered them and then sliced it. Removed the 2 other slice results and now you have your rectangle outline. Then I did the same thing. I chose the shape button again, added some squares and adjusted the size, and I added about 4. And then a trick to get these 4 squares aligned is to highlight all of them, and I distributed them horizontally and vertically and then aligned them by the top. Then I selected all of my squares and the rectangle outline and welded it. So that way it is all in one piece. And then I will select the loading weld result and the text and center that before welding. And then of course weld it. So now that the design is ready to be set, I wanted to hover over the square to show you that with the Cricut Joy, the maximum size that you can create a design is 4.5 inches by 48 inches. So this is what's nice about the Cricut Joy is that yes, it is smaller in width, but in length, 48 inches is super long and it can cut much longer than the other Cricut models like the Makers and the Explorers. But we are not cutting this square because this was for template visual purposes only, so I will click the I button to hide that. Now I always save my work before I make the design and then we can click make it. Today we are using Smart Vinyl for the first time, so we do not have to use a mat. So I will select without mat. I'll make sure the design looks good, but there's nothing you really need to do on this page. You can click continue. The Joy will then connect via Bluetooth, and the base material that we're using is Smart Vinyl Permanent because that is what I'm using today. Here's our cute little Cricut Joy and our permanent Smart Vinyl. So you will just simply insert that into the Cricut Joy. Be careful with your fingers. You don't want to get it too close because the Cricut Joy will immediately take that vinyl in and then it will start cutting. This is so cool. I don't have to use a mat. And also the Cricut Joy doesn't have any buttons on it, so you will have to click go on your device that you're using. Once it's done, you will click unload on your device and then you can remove the vinyl. I cut the excess off with some scissors. And then I weeded. Now since this is a glitter vinyl, it is difficult to see the inside of the letters, so that's why I removed the background first. And then I weeded the insides. A trick with glitter vinyl is sometimes I will roll it and the pieces will pop up. It is much easier to do this with glitter HTV, but it works just as well with regular vinyl. This was technically like a liquid art. I just loved it as a canvas because it was all wood. And the permanent Smart Vinyl did come with strong grip transfer tape, so I will be using this transfer tape today, placing this on my fingers to make it less sticky because I don't want to have any problems when removing it. Then I will lightly scrape it down with my scraper tool tool, and now we can remove the backing. Smart vinyl is a little bit harder to remove the backing because it is thicker. Your arms are going to have a nice little workout. Then I'm going to carefully not place the design down on the sign yet. I stuck the transfer tape to the side of the wood before pressing it down, and then measured the bottom on each side to make sure it was straight, and on the top as well, so it's aligned and in the middle. Then I can press it down after measuring, use my scraper tool to really adhere it, and then remove the transfer tape. And your sign is complete. Now we can hang it on our door and tell everyone that we are crafting, so please do not disturb. Now onto our second Cricut Joy project, which is how to make cutaway cards. I've shown y'all how to make regular cards, but these cutaway cards are so cool because you can actually, like the word, cut out a design so it's a two-toned card. Now you can make your own design if you look at the Your Design here, so you don't have to use any of Cricut's if you don't want to or if you don't have the Access subscription. The cutaway cards that I have are the smaller size, so do make sure that when you are making your design, it is the proper size. The design I chose was this Love You cutaway card. So as soon as I clicked make it, I didn't even have to insert it into Cricut Design Space, do anything. It automatically sent us to the screen where we're adjusting it on the card. Please make sure that the load type is on the card mat. We are using the card mat today for the cutaway cards, and it is the correct size of your cutaway cards. And the base material will be cutaway card and backer. So this is the Cricut Joy Card Mat, and it gives you the instructions right on the card, which is very helpful. But what you'll do is you will take your cutaway cards pack. I have the, of course, neutral pack with some envelopes, regular cards, and the cutaway card inserts. The cards will have a sticky backing. You need to remove that white part, and it is adhesive, so you can put that insert card right on top of it. And it came with this lovely gold insert, and you will place it face down and make sure you're able to fold the card. Don't put it too close to the edge of that card. Give it a firm press with your fingers, and then we can place it right underneath that card mat. So there will be this protective clear sheet that will slide the card underneath. Now the only concern I had was, for some reason, no matter how much I pushed it all the way to the right and top, it still left a little bit remaining on the bottom that I ended up having to cut with my paper cutter later on. So I don't know if the cards were just cut incorrectly or the Cricut card mat was faulty, but just keep that in mind and make sure it is perfectly aligned. Then it is somewhat sticky, so fold over that card and just press it down, and then insert that into the Cricut Joy. Once it's done, we'll remove the card from the mat, and look at how perfect it came out. Then I will carefully remove the card from the mat and start weeding. What I found helpful was to use the weeder tool, but don't pick it like you normally would with regular vinyl. Kind of dig that weeder tool slightly underneath, and then it'll grab the rest of the material. But I love how these cutaway cards came out, and I really think this is a great way to elevate your card making game. And the last Cricut Joy project is by far my favorite, and it is this Wall Decal that I put on my office. This design was 32 inches long, but I typed out the text that I wanted, which is "Craft the Life You Want," and I used the font Henderson. This is also another downloaded font that will be linked in the video description for you to check out. I just want to show you, for example, if I made it too big, it will have this red symbol that says, "Hey, this design is too big, please make sure that it is smaller." So this font, you can't make it longer than 32 inches, but if I had maybe a regular sans serif font, I could probably make it up to 48 inches. So this was really easy to make because I just typed out the text, and I welded it to make sure all of the letters were connected. Then we'll click make it. Again, we are using smart vinyl, so we do not need a mat, and you can only use smart vinyl with longer projects like this. I do have the regular Cricut Joy mat, but it only goes up to 12 inches. So with any Cricut project that is longer than 12 inches, make sure you're using smart vinyl. Everything looks good on this page, so we will click continue and select our base material to Smart Vinyl Permanent. This is just regular black smart vinyl. I didn't want to use the glitter this time. Make sure you have enough room behind the Cricut Joy and in front, because it will measure it out and then push it all the way back forward. So do not push this Cricut Joy against the wall. If it goes off the desk a little bit, that's okay, but let the Cricut Joy measure it out, and then it will start cutting the design. Then as usual, we will weed with our weeder tool, and I'll remove the excess pieces. Today I'm using my favorite transfer tape, as always, from the Dollar Tree. I had to overlap my transfer tape. I forgot to film this, but as long as that's overlapped, you won't have to worry about the design falling apart. To make sure that this vinyl decal is straight, I placed it on the wall and then I put 2 pieces of tape on the side. I came down to look at it to see if it looked straight, and it didn't. So I took my ruler and then measured it from the top of the ceiling to the top of those T's. So I measured it from the T on craft and then the T on want, because that was towards the front of the design and the end of the design. And as long as those were even, that tells me that, okay, the design is straight. So I had to remove the tape on the right and adjust it just a smidge up. I measured it again with my ruler and everything looked good. Place a big piece of tape on the beginning of the design, and then I will remove that tape on the right hand side. Then remove that plastic backing, so all you have left is the transfer tape and the vinyl. The door was in our way, so my husband had to help and scoot me over because I was on a bench. And again, with the backing on the Smart Vinyl, it is a thicker plastic, so be patient. It is not as easy to remove, unlike the paper backing on other vinyl brands. And to make sure that it is straight, you want to pull that design all the way to the right. And as long as the beginning of that design is flat, I can just slowly press it down and move it to the right as I go. So I use my hand in this case. I don't even use a scraper tool because my hand is bigger than the scraper. I measured it again because I was a little psycho and wanted to make sure it was straight, and it was, thank gosh. My face of relief. But now I'm using the scraper tool and really scraping that down onto the wall. Once it is scraped down, we can remove the transfer tape, and I am overjoyed because it adhered and looked awesome. And the eye fell off of Life while I was adhering it, so my husband just gave me the dot and I scraped that on with my scraper tool. But here's the final decal on my wall. That concludes 3 Cricut Joy projects for today's video. Now let's close out this tutorial. So, what did we think? I want you to comment your favorite Cricut Joy project that I made in today's video. And if you do decide to make one of these projects, please tag me on Instagram because I love sharing and seeing your renditions of my projects. I hope everyone is having an amazing day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!